Here's a few tips for 2025 for anyone who's still in the rental car business or getting into it fresh right now if you really want to make money with this and avoid all the mistakes that most people make. First and foremost, if you're using Turo and renting your car out, you have to understand that Turo's in this game to make money and make a lot of money at that. And that's okay, but what that means for you is that you have to pay attention to the numbers. So always check your transaction log, because what I realized is sometimes they'll reverse transactions when you get approved, like smoking claims and stuff like that. Turo will go back and reverse it. Some of the reps will, and they won't tell you, won't email you, and you have to go in your transaction log and make sure you're keeping track of all your money that's coming in. If I were starting over and I had just a few cars, the number one thing I would do is buy economy cars that are good on gas, 4-door sedans, stuff like that. I will hustle and get up to 10 cars as quick as possible, because that's where you really make money, and you can switch from the 75 plan to the 90 plan if you're using Turo. But I will stick to those economy cars because you can also rent those out privately on a weekly basis to, DoorDash, Uber drivers in your local city. So that's a whole nother thing. I found out that it's super high demand for gig drivers to be able to rent cars like these cheaper cars, and then not have to worry about the maintenance or anything else. They just pay you weekly. So I have some of my economy cars out for $375 to $425 per week, and they're just keeping them long term. If you're on Turo right now, I would also start setting things up to have your own rental car agency, so you can look in your own city and then just basically go on Google, look at what the regulations are to have a rental car license where you are. So for me, I had to have a location, I had to have certain insurance, I had to make sure I was licensed, bonded, all that, and then I was able to apply for my rental car license, which I was approved for. By doing this, you're protecting yourself because you're opening up more avenues for you to rent out your cars and make more money. Another thing I want to point out is to always pay attention to big events that are going on in your city. I'm in Las Vegas, so it's always something crazy going on. I'm also in a Cybertruck right now. It's actually wrapped that same color. But this truck was booked for 5 days from a corporation that was doing like a corporate party, and they let us sit in the showroom for 5 days without driving it, and I was making $800 a day at the time. And once you have a good flow going, you want to hire a virtual assistant. This virtual assistant is going to take over all the messaging inside the Turo app or with your private renters to free up your time to focus more on acquisitions, which is basically getting more cars. You want to spend as much of your time possible building your fleet out and making sure the margins are high, so you're not running the day-to-day operations once you get to that certain amount of cars. You want to have some automated messages set up for when they book the car, a quick welcome message, check-in message, check-out messages, have that done. Your virtual assistant will fill in the blanks and answer questions for them, and then you can work on building your presence on social media and just on the internet in general. So creating a Google business page, websites, your social media pages. Do anything and everything you can to start promoting your business to get more traffic. I'm really trying to think of what else. I'm just trying to give y'all random information off the top of my head right now, because I know I've been MIA on this app. A lot of people ask me about parking, like where I park my cars. Once you get the amount of cars that disrupts the neighborhood, like if you have a HOA and they start saying something about your cars being parked there, first of all, your car should be rented, so you shouldn't have that many at the house in the first place. But once you have a lot, that's when you want to go and get a parking lot. But instead of going out and leasing a building and paying thousands of dollars a month, go and look into co-working offices that will allow you to have about 3 parking spots. With those 3 spots, you can have like 10 to 12 cars if you have them rented out often enough, so a high utilization rate. So let me know if y'all got any other questions. Let me know. Like I said, this is just some quick off the top. Just want to give y'all some free game.